Great. I'm going to start by, introducing what it is we're here for, because I believe you either heard or saw this flyer that talked about starting your crypto journey in 2022. And if you're anything like me, you've been either on the sidelines for a while, just wondering what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. I know I was for several years before I decided to take the plunge and really understand how things work for myself. Okay, so you've probably been watching from a distance. What's all this digital money that people are talking about? Is it real? Is it another elaborate scam? Some of you have first-hand experiences when things have gone wrong. So what we're here really is to take you on a journey. Okay, a journey to help you understand what the cryptocurrency space is about. In a way that is really simple and straightforward. I find that there is a lot of jargon that is thrown around in this space, and it makes it really difficult for people to understand, or makes people think that this thing is a lot more complicated than it actually is. So my goal here over the next 5 days is to take you on that journey to just help remove some of the confusion that may exist and to present the material to you in a very, very simple and straightforward fashion. Let me just say this up front. I'm not selling anything here, okay? I have no intention to sell anything. So just put your mind at ease. This is going to be 100% educational. There's no invite to buy anything because I'm not selling anything to you. Well, who am I really to begin with? My name is Chijioke Ukewu, and the way I like to describe myself, I am an electrical engineer that has turned into an entrepreneur. If I add a bit more details to that, for 14 years between 2007 and last year, up until June last year, I worked with a company many of you would recognize by name, ExxonMobil. So I worked in different states in Nigeria until I quit that job June last year to start my entrepreneurship journey. It's interesting when I tell that story because when I first started telling my friends last year that I had quit my job, I got a lot of funny comments. I don't understand. The job that we are praying and fasting to get, that's the one that you quit. And you said, you're doing what again? I said, yeah, I'm into crypto now. Oh, crypto, oh my goodness. What village are you from? They finally caught you. So I got a lot of interesting comments like that, but it's been a very interesting journey. And it's some of the lessons that I have learned on that journey that I want to share with you. What I want you to understand is whether or not you're already involved in the cryptocurrency space, everybody has a beginning. And I want you to take these 5 days as your beginning. Even if you already know something about this space, do be open-minded and let's just share together. We'll make this as interactive as possible so that we can also crowdsource ideas from the audience, because I will be the first to tell you I don't know everything about cryptocurrencies, okay? But I'm happy to share the very significant lessons that I have learned from my journey along the way. All right, so let's put some context around what we're going to do over the course of the next hour or so, okay? Just so we're on the same page. And this is the agenda. We're going to cover this on day one. Remember, there's 5 days that we're going to go through. And this is the first day. You're here early, and that's fantastic. It shows your commitment to really learn and improve yourself. Okay, so this is what we're going to go through. We're going to look at the things you should be aware of, as you consider the cryptocurrency space. And I'll give you several examples such that you will have the right frame of mind as you approach this. Okay, Let me just do a quick check that everyone is still with me. If you're still all here, could you type a 2 in the chat? Let me just be sure that you can see my slides okay. You can hear me okay. Fantastic, fantastic. One of the reasons I'll be asking for interaction as we go through this is, like you may have noticed on the flyer for this, there's going to be a giveaway. So I'm looking for really, really diligent students, people who pay attention, people who are going to, really internalize the lessons that we will share here. And I want to see who those people will be. One, you've made the commitments to be here, so you're already better than, some of the people who signed up but are not here, right? So you've made one commitment, but I want you to go a step further and commit to really learn here, because it's educational material that we're going to be sharing, okay? All right, so that's it about the agenda, and let's get right into it. Okay, so this is the first thing I would want us to do, the first exercise, if you will. Remember, I said this is going to be interactive, okay? So there's going to be some work that you will need to do. I want you to just type in the chat. I want to get a flavor of what your expectations are. So this is day one, and we've said this is the beginning, right? If you've read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the things there is about beginning with the end in mind. So at some point on Friday, if you stay through all the lessons that we're going to go through here, you'll be standing at the end of the course. What I want to ask you real quick over the next 2 or 3 minutes is just put in the chat, what do you expect, okay, coming out of this class? So what's in your head? What would success look like for you? Okay, I'm really interested in learning that, and that's going to do something for me. It's going to help me tailor the material, right, to meet your expectations, because this isn't about me. I'm not here to tell you about myself. I'm here to share lessons about cryptocurrencies that I believe you don't hear enough about. So just tell me in the chat what your expectations are. And let me spend a minute or two just reading it, okay? Thanks, Oladipo. Want to have a clear understanding of crypto markets and trading. That's good. Who else? Anyone else? Oladipo has broken the ice, so I expect the other comments to start flowing through now. Okay, thanks, Isa. You want to know how to properly research coins, and very good, very good, very good point that you've raised. Okay, David, you want to be financially independent. That's good. Okay, Tesla, you want to have a good understanding of crypto and DeFi. Okay, so you're not a newbie to this space. You want knowledge, and beyond knowing it, you want to be able to apply it. Fantastic. I fully understand where you're coming from. In this space, if any of you is on Instagram to begin with, right, and you've been searching on cryptocurrency, right? You will see a lot of posts, reels, and they will go something like this. 5 coins that will make you retire by December 2022, or the next 10 coins that will grow by 100x, in the next 2 months, right? So you see a lot of that, and you just wonder, if all these people are making all these predictions, how come it has not happened? It has not happened to them in their own account. All right, so I fully understand that when you say that there is a lot of confusing information out there, and it will add value if you're able to learn in a structured way. Hey, Shagu says he wants to know how the crypto market operates, trading it, and understanding coins and NFTs. Absolutely, we will get to that in the course of this. Chinaya, you have a very interesting objective. You want to be able to survive solely on crypto. Well, let me tell you straight up, it's 100% possible. There's going to be a price you're going to have to pay if you want to survive solely on crypto. And remember, nothing I tell you here is a recipe for overnight success. So if you have an expectation that coming here, you want to learn how to turn $1 into $1 million by the end of February, you might as well drop off the call, right? Because that is magic. And we do not do magic here. Okay, so we educate, and then you will learn how to manage your portfolio yourself. You'll be able to do independent research so that you're able to grow your account yourself. Okay, good. Okay, hi Dries, you have the same objectives as David talked about. So it's good. I like how there's a lot of learning objectives that you've put out in the space, right? And what I learned, my biggest lesson from 2021 was, if you focus on learning, right, your account will reflect the amount of learning that you have done. Okay, that was my biggest lesson in 2021. If you focus on how much you want to make, right, that's when your account is going to be fluctuating. You'll score some wins, you will make a lot of losses. Okay, so focus on learning, and then the outcome will follow. So thank you very much, everyone, for all the expectations that you've put out there. I've taken note of what all these things are, and we will blend this information in as we go through the content today. Let me just refine what you're going to get from this class. Okay, now I've noticed your expectations, and they really align with what we're going to do here over the course of the next 5 days. Like some of you have said, there is a lot of confusion, okay, out there. There's a lot of guidance in quotes about different things you need to do in the cryptocurrency space. And that's this confusion point here. Many people are in this at this point. And good Lord knows I was at this point too at some point in 2020. Because I was like, isn't there a straightforward way to get involved in cryptocurrencies? I just keep getting different information from different places. So this is where many people are. There's confusion about terminologies. There is confusion about which cryptocurrencies to buy. There is confusion about how long you should hold your cryptocurrencies. There's a lot of confusion out there. But this journey that we're going through is going to take you from confusion to clarity. You will know exactly why you want to buy a specific cryptocurrency. You will know exactly how long you're going to hold it for. You will know when you're going to get rid of it, and you will know which cryptocurrencies you're going to be, holding, right? And what clarity will do for you is it will give you confidence. Now, if you don't learn anything from what we're going to say today, just know this, that any form of investment, for you to be successful in any form of investment, you need confidence. If you are not confident, you will adjust what you're doing based on what other people are saying. Okay, so you wake up in the morning, and then maybe you use news as the source of your confidence, and the news is all reporting, hey, Bitcoin is crashing, it's going to go to zero. If you're holding Bitcoin at that point, you're very likely going to get rid of it, right? Because you don't know why you bought it. You don't know why you're holding it. Without confidence, you will make mistakes. Without confidence, you will not succeed in any form of investment, let alone cryptocurrencies. Now, it's not enough to just have confidence. Ultimately, what you want to be able to do is build a portfolio. Okay, so you're going to build a portfolio, manage it, and grow it. So that's what you need confidence to be able to do. Okay, and really, what's a portfolio? Okay, now, contrary to popular, popular thought, a portfolio is not just the list of cryptocurrencies that you are holding, and you are hoping that they will go, as they say, to the moon, and then you're able to retire your parents, retire your, your spouse if you're married, retire everybody, and start operating from a beach somewhere. Okay, that's not what a portfolio is. Beyond just different cryptocurrencies in your portfolio, a portfolio is also the strategies that you are using to acquire and get rid of those cryptocurrencies. So it's not just the cryptocurrencies, it's also the things that you're doing to get them, to get rid of them, to multiply them. All of that comes together as a portfolio. And by Friday, you should have the confidence, right, to be able to build, manage, and grow a portfolio. Okay, so that's what this class is going to help you do. And that's our objective over the course of the next 5 days. All right. Now, before we jump right into a lot of the details that you have in this space, let's just talk about digital currencies to begin with, right? And what they are. Now, it depends on who you ask, right? Different people will tell you different things, but these 6 things that you see on this slide, for me, these are the most important characteristics of digital currencies, right? Everything else is good to know, but it's not going to necessarily help you build a portfolio of digital currencies. Okay, so if you know these 6 things, right, you are already better informed than at least half the people on social media. I can tell you that for free. All right, so what are these 6 characteristics of digital currencies? The first thing is a digital currency is really an asset that is based on something called blockchain technology. Now, don't get carried away by any of the terms used in that definition. Okay. What I like to tell people is if you want to build a profitable cryptocurrency portfolio, you don't really need to understand how blockchain technology works. You're not a computer scientist. You want to build a portfolio. Right? If you really had to understand all the details and all the underlying fundamentals of how blockchain technology works, you would be studying computer science. In fact, you would be a professor of computer science if that was your goal in life, right? But you don't need to understand all the details. All you need to know is that if you have a digital asset that is based on something called blockchain technology, it is a digital currency. Right? That's the first thing that you should be aware of. Okay. Now, there's a second reason why digital currencies are very, very popular today. Okay. And that second reason is it's because they are very difficult to counterfeit. Okay. It's very, very difficult to make a fake version of a digital currency. Now, that's very important. Now, remember, digital currency is 2 different words. There's digital and then there's currency. Now, just think about the naira or the dollar, right? One of the things you like to be sure of when you're holding naira or you're holding any other type of currency is you want to be sure that it is real and it's not fake. Because if it's fake, it's immediately worthless and it doesn't have any value. Okay. Now, the technology that digital currencies is based on, blockchain technology, makes it very difficult to counterfeit a digital currency. Okay. That's another reason that they are very popular. The third reason is that digital currencies are an alternative to something we call fiat currency. Now, what's fiat currency? Fiat currency is money that's issued by a central bank. Okay, so in Nigeria, fiat currency is the naira. In the US, their fiat currency is the US dollar. Okay, in Australia, their fiat currency is the Australian dollar. There's someone from the UK in the chat. In the UK, their fiat currency is obviously the British pound. Okay, so that's fiat currency. You can call it paper money, but that's what fiat currency is. Now, why would you be concerned about having an alternative to fiat currency? Okay, one of the reasons that made me start thinking about an alternative to my job was when the pandemic hit in March 2020. If you look from March 2020 to about March 2021, the exchange rate of the naira to the dollar went from about 360 naira to $1 to very close to 500 in March 2021. So I was essentially earning in naira, and over a 12-month period, I saw the value, the earning power of my salary go down by 50%. Okay. So if you had some other way, to preserve the value of the money that you owned, if you had an alternative to your fiat currency, you would be able to do more with the same quantity of money. Okay. I mean, if you're Nigerian, you're on the call, and you've been to the markets lately, and you buy things. Let's say you're a small business owner, right? And you depend on equipment or products or services that are imported. I'm sure you feel the pain of how that fall or the crash in the exchange rate has impacted how much profit you're able to make, or like in my own example, how much you're able to do with the same salary or income that you get. So digital currencies provide an alternative to fiat currency or paper money. Okay. Look at this fourth point over here. It talks about less control by central institutions. When we were talking about fiat currency, I mentioned that that is money that is issued by typically a central bank. Okay. Now, because the central bank issues the money, they are able to control it, how you get it, how much you have, how you can spend it, how much you can spend, and indeed when you can withdraw from your account. If you remember what happened back in 2016, when we first saw volatility or significant change in the exchange rates between the naira and the dollar. Remember that at some point the Central Bank of Nigeria, they were trying different things to keep that exchange rate stable. At some point, even if you owned a domiciliary account in Nigeria, they put a restriction on how much money you could withdraw or even deposit into the account. Remember, it's your money, it's your account. But yet they were controlling how much you could put in and how much you could remove. Okay, so that's the power of a centralized institution like a central bank. They are able to control how much you can withdraw, how much you can put in. Okay, and indeed, and although many people do not know this, even if you have a bank account in a Nigerian bank, right, the central bank has the power to issue the order for that bank to be for the accounts to be frozen. Okay, so you might think you can stroll to the bank and withdraw the money that you have. One day, it may get to that point where they just say, you know what, we need to do certain things, so just hang on, you can't withdraw your money at this time, okay, until we are done doing what we need to do. So with digital currencies, you get away from that kind of control, okay, because no single country, no single entity owns a digital currency. All right, let's go through these last 2 points real quick. And this one is really important. All digital currencies are valued in US dollars. Now, for people like me who used to earn in naira, this is a big deal, because it means if you're earning in a currency that is significantly weaker than the dollar, right? If you own or hold digital currencies, you can preserve that value, in dollars, and preserve how much you're able to do. If you ask me which of these 6 points is the most important, it's this last one here. Okay, and this is where people begin to miss it. Not all digital currencies are useful. Okay, let me just say that again. Not all digital currencies are useful. Now, let me start this by showing you a list or a website that some of you would already know if you're already in the space. But I just want to use this to illustrate the point. So I'm using a website called CoinGecko. Let me just go ahead and put that in the chat for those who don't know it. So this is coingecko.com. Okay. Now, really, what's this website about? This website lists popular cryptocurrencies that exist, and it provides some information about them. As far as we're concerned today, we are only interested in the names. We're not interested in anything else to the right of the names. There's a lot of useful information there, but we are not we are not interested in that information today. Okay. All right, just to make the point. So practically everyone on the call has heard of Bitcoin. If you've not heard of Bitcoin, you've probably been on another planet and you're just visiting and you will soon go back. So, I mean, Bitcoin is, practically everyone has heard of Bitcoin, okay? So just something to be aware of. And then you have Ethereum, which is another popular cryptocurrency. And then you can go down the list and see all the other different names. What I want to point out is up here at the top, and perhaps I should, let's see if we can blow this up so that you can see what I'm showing. So you see up here at the top that there's over 12,000 cryptocurrencies that exist, that are out there, okay? Now that's a lot. You know, it means you can start at number 1 and then go all the way down this list until you get to number 12,440. Okay, and that's how many cryptocurrencies are out there, or digital currencies that are out there. Okay, and as you can tell, that's a very long list. So you might want to ask yourself, how do you begin to make sense of this long list of cryptocurrencies? Well, guess what? That's what this whole 5-day class is about. You know, how you can make sense of this list and profitably participate in the different cryptocurrencies that are out there. At this point, the value of me showing you this website is that you are aware that there's a way for you to just quickly look at all the cryptocurrencies that exist and know their names and other attributes that are useful, which we will not discuss today. Okay, so if that makes sense, can you just put a 3 in the chat? Let me just be sure that we're all together and we're on the same page. Okay. All right. All right. So let me mention at this point that we will have a period for questions towards the end. So if you do have any questions, do just hang on a bit and we'll get to questions at the end. Okay. All right. So we're making progress. Okay. We've just introduced digital currencies. I know this day 1 is going to be, you know, the easy stuff for everybody. Okay. But by the time we get to day 2, I guarantee you we're going to move from you know, walking pace to flying pace, right? We're going to start moving very, very quickly. But it's important for us to lay this foundation. Now, I've just talked to you about 12,000 cryptocurrencies or digital currencies that exist. There is an easy way for you to think about digital currencies. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, there's really only 2 types of digital currencies, okay? There are the digital currencies that we call volatile. Now, what does that mean? That means that the price of those digital currencies, they fluctuate over time. A very good example of that is Bitcoin. Now, if you've been following the markets recently, I think about 2 weeks ago, you know, very many people in the crypto space were depressed. Why? Because it seemed as if Bitcoin was, you know, plunging all the way down to potentially near zero, right? Just given the speed at which the price was falling. But now things seem to have recovered a bit. But that's an example of a volatile digital currency. It just means the price will change over time. And I have some other examples beyond Bitcoin there. Again, at this point, the names don't really matter. It's just the concept. Understand the concept that you have a group of cryptocurrencies that are designed to fluctuate in price over time. Okay. The other group of digital currencies are designed to be stable in price over time. Now, what does that mean? It means in the case of this example here called Tether, means 1 Tether is equivalent to $1 US. Okay, so the price of this digital currency is pegged to the US dollar. Indeed, for the 6 examples that I show here on the right, each one of them is an example of a cryptocurrency where 1 unit of this is equivalent to $1 US. So to give you another example, you have this cryptocurrency called the DAI, DAI. One DAI is $1. So it means if you have 100 US dollars and you use all of that to buy DAI, you will be holding 100 DAI, because one DAI is essentially $1. That is not the case on the left. Okay. The quantity of a volatile cryptocurrency that you will get when you're buying depends on what the price is at that time. And indeed, if you paid attention while I showed this CoinGecko site, you can see when it shows the name of the cryptocurrency, it shows the current price. Okay, so Bitcoin is currently around 44K, $44,000. Sorry, Ethereum is around $3,158, and this is the one we talked about, Tether. Okay, is, you can see here, is $1. So one Tether is $1. Now let me just make a point here, okay? Because every now and then I run into people asking me these questions. Okay, so someone might look at this and say, wow, Bitcoin is 44,000. So does that mean that for me to buy Bitcoin, I need to look for 44,000 US dollars to buy it? And the answer to that is obviously no. Because these things are digital currencies, you can buy fractions of them. Okay, so you can, even though the current price of Bitcoin is $44,000, you can buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. You can buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. You can buy $50 worth of Bitcoin. Okay, so the price doesn't mean you must buy one Bitcoin. You can hold fractional quantities of any cryptocurrency, right? So that's just something to be aware of. So again, we started with a full list of over 12,000 cryptocurrencies or digital currencies. And an easy way to think about that list is which of these digital currencies, which of them is volatile and which of them is stable. Because obviously you can use those two different categories to do different things, and you'll be surprised at some of the applications that we can get involved in when we use these different cryptocurrencies. All right. So let's move on real quick. We've talked about what digital currencies are, the 6 important characteristics of digital currencies. We've talked about the 2 different types of digital currencies, those that are volatile, which means their price will change over time, and those that are stable, which means their price is designed to remain the same over time. It's pegged to a real world asset like the US dollar. The other question you might be asking is, so where do I buy digital currencies from? Now, at this point, let me make a comment here. There is a lot of educational material here, so you might want to take, like screenshots of the slides, to just so that you're aware of what's going on, or if you want to refer to the material later. Okay, this is being recorded as you can tell, so we'll also provide a link to the recording if you want to go back and watch this again. Okay, so I just thought to mention that. So if you want to take a screenshot of any slide that we're on, feel free. I mean, it's educational material and it's for you. So we're at the point now where we're talking about where to acquire, where do you buy digital currencies. Now, let me just test in the chat. If you can put a 4, how many of you have you've either bought stocks or shares of any company before? Whether a Nigerian company or not. If you can put a 4 in the chat. So you understand how to buy shares, you understand how to buy stocks. Let's go ahead and put a 4 in the chat. Let me just see. Oh, good. Okay, so we have a few people on the call who are familiar with what it takes to buy shares or stocks. Now, generally, if you want to buy shares or stocks, you have to go to something called a stock exchange. Okay, so that's where you go to exchange your real world money for the number of shares and the specific company you want to buy those shares from. That's how it works. In the cryptocurrency space, we have cryptocurrency exchanges that allow you to do two things. One, to use your naira or dollar or pound, whatever real world money you have. You can use that to buy digital currency, or you can exchange one digital currency for another. Okay. Now, there's two types of cryptocurrency exchanges that exist out there. Okay. You do not need to know all of them. So I've only put examples of a few on the chart. But there's two types. The first type is something called a centralized exchange. Okay. Now, what are the two most important characteristics of a centralized exchange? One, typically before you can use a centralized exchange, they will ask you to provide your name, provide your email address, provide your passports. They're trying to identify you. Of course, all that information is called KYC, know your customer information. The centralized exchange, they need to know people who are using the platform. Okay, so that's one of the first characteristics of a centralized exchange. And then the second one, like I mentioned before, in a centralized exchange, you can use real world money to buy digital currency. So if you have $100, most centralized exchanges will allow you to exchange real world money for a cryptocurrency. Okay, so you can use $100 to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. Okay, now I've put three examples of popular centralized exchanges. There's Binance, there's Kraken, and there's KuCoin. Okay, just for now, just understand the principle. Okay, so you don't need to go open a Binance account or do anything at this point. No, just understand that Binance is a centralized exchange. Okay, now let me see some of my advanced students in the class. Can you just put one or two other centralized exchanges that you've used or you are aware of? You could just put that in the chat. Let's just see, who my advanced students are. Okay. So Suleiman, when I see you, I should run away. Okay, Coinbase, crypto.com, Probits. Interesting. I have never heard of that one. Okay, KuCoin is on the chat as well. Okay, good. Bybit, excellent. Okay, good. Coinbase, okay. PancakeSwap doesn't quite make it. UB. PancakeSwap is actually a decentralized exchange. All right, good. So several good examples on the chart. I'm happy to know that we have some advanced students. You're going to have a lot of fun, everybody, on this call. Remember, if you're an advanced student and you're here and you're like, can we just get to the good stuff already? Just be patient. Remember what day one is. Day one is the beginning. So even though you're an advanced student today, there was a point where you first started. So let's just be patient so we can carry everyone along. All right, so that's it about centralized exchanges. Let's talk about decentralized exchanges. Okay. Now, in these examples, okay, for a decentralized exchange, you do not need to register. You don't need to provide your email address in order to use a decentralized exchange. Okay. In fact, the only thing they need is a sequence of characters known as a wallet address. Once you have that, you're able to use a decentralized exchange. Now, the drawback for decentralized exchanges is you can only exchange one digital currency for another. So you're not going to, at least at this point, you're not going to take $100 of real world money, go to a decentralized exchange and exchange it for crypto. Okay, at this point, you can't do that. Okay, and there's a reason you can't do that. Decentralized exchanges, anybody can sign up. Okay, I have a 4-year-old. If I show her how to sign up, she can, start using a decentralized exchange, and nobody will know that she's 4 years old. Okay, nobody will know that. But if it's a centralized exchange, because of the way you can use real world money to buy crypto, they need to monitor those who are using the platform to prevent money laundering and other dangerous activities happening there. So that's why you provide all that identifying information on the centralized exchange. But on the decentralized exchange, we really don't care who you are, how old you are, whether you know how to use how to buy cryptocurrencies or not. We just provide a way for you to exchange one digital currency for another. Now, a couple of examples of decentralized exchanges: Uniswap, QuickSwap, TraderJoe. PancakeSwap is a DEX, is a decentralized exchange. And obviously there are several other examples that you can think about out there. Again, the point of this is not to memorize these names, it's just to understand, okay, if I need to buy crypto and I have cash, I have US dollars, would I use a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange? I have to use a centralized exchange. Okay, so that's the point. Or if I want to exchange one cryptocurrency for another, where would I do that? You can do that either on a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. These ones I've listed are just some of the more popular ones that are out there. There are several others. I am by no means recommending that you must only use these ones. No. Okay. All right. So that's where you go to when you want to acquire digital currency. Because remember what our goal is here. Our goal at the end of 5 days is for you to have the confidence to do 3 things: to build, to manage, and to grow your cryptocurrency portfolio by yourself without relying on any other person to help you do that. You can do it by yourself. Why? Because you have clarity, you understand what you're doing. So these are the fundamentals. Okay. Now I'm going to assume after today that everybody has mastered the information here, because like I said, we're going to go easy today. Today is day 1. We want everybody to, really understand what we're doing. And then we're going to go very, very quickly after this. All right, let's make progress. Think about the sequence that we are following. You want to build a portfolio of cryptocurrencies. You need to know what cryptocurrencies are. You need to know where you can buy them. And then when you know where you can buy them from, you need to know where you can store them. Okay, where are you going to keep them after you've bought them? Now, think about your bank account. Okay, practically everyone here would have a bank account or access to a bank account. Okay, your bank account helps you hold money that you own. Okay, but I guarantee you, right, that if you let's use Zenith Bank, okay, and you have an account number, I guarantee you that if you go to Zenith Bank and you ask to see the vault, and they are so kind to show you where the vault is, you will not see your account number anywhere with the money that is in your account there. Okay, so that's not how the bank really saves your money. Okay, so they just know how much belongs to you, such that if you need that money, they'll make it available to you. But it's not like there is a container or a case somewhere with your name written on it and the amount of money you have there. No, that's not how it works. So the similar thing applies in cryptocurrencies. Okay, where do you store the cryptocurrencies that you buy? You store them in something called a wallet, okay, which is something that gives you access to cryptocurrency that you own. Now, a wallet isn't really a container that when you can pull it out and you can see Bitcoin, right? That's not what a wallet is. A wallet really just gives you access to cryptocurrency that you own. Okay, that's what a wallet is. Now, because the wallet doesn't really hold physical currency, that's why the store here is in quotes. So yes, the wallet will give you access to the cryptocurrency, but the cryptocurrency is not really there. Cryptocurrency resides on the blockchain, okay, the technology on which it is built. This wallet just helps you to access cryptocurrency that you own. Now, when we talked about on the previous slide about where you can buy cryptocurrencies from, we said there are centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. So it should be no big surprise that you can store your cryptocurrencies in either a centralized exchange wallet or a decentralized wallet. Okay, so those are the two options you have for storing your cryptocurrency. Now, the same Binance, Kraken, KuCoin that we talked about initially as examples of centralized exchanges, they also allow you to store your cryptocurrency there. So if you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin on Binance, okay, Binance will provide a location, a virtual location where that cryptocurrency will reside, okay, the one that you own. The same thing Kraken will do, KuCoin, Coinbase, any of the other examples that you've mentioned. So that's how it works with centralized exchanges. Decentralized wallets are a bit different, okay, from centralized exchange wallets. And I will explain the difference in a few minutes, okay? There's a few examples of decentralized exchange wallets. What these ones help you do, they also help you store cryptocurrencies, okay? But in this case, you manage the security of the wallet. Now, what does that mean? It means that everything that you need, okay, to protect this wallet will be given to you when the wallet is first set up. Okay, so that's a good thing, and it's also a bad thing. It's a good thing because you are in control of the wallet, you're in control of the security. It is a bad thing because you are in control of the security. And if you make a mistake or you don't do something correctly, there is no support center, there is no help desk that you can call to help you retrieve your money. Okay, if you lose any of the security keys given to you at the point when you are setting up a decentralized wallet. Okay, so that's something that you need to be aware of. On the other hand, okay, if you go to Binance and you decide to use the wallet for Binance, okay, Binance will manage the security for you to some degree. Okay. The issue now is because somebody else is managing the access for you, you can wake up one morning and you type, the Binance website and it will tell you website's down, please check back later. As long as the website is down, there is no way you can access, the money that you have put there. So that's something to be aware of, okay? If the Binance website is not working, you can't access any money that you put here. So we'll talk about this a bit later, but you do need to be cautious about how much money you leave on a centralized exchange wallet. Yes, they help you manage some aspects of the security and how to access your account. But remember, these are all websites, and websites can stop working, okay, for any period of time. Okay, so something to be aware of. The other thing is, since these are websites, what's one other thing that can happen to websites? They can get hacked. Okay, so they can be compromised, cryptocurrency can be stolen. So you need to be aware of that as well. Decentralized wallets are not immune from being hacked. Just be aware of that. But it is more of an issue with centralized exchange wallets, because remember, it's almost as if you're keeping money in a bank, okay, and then robbers go to the bank and then steal money from that bank. Okay, all the customers of that particular bank are going to be affected. Okay, because like I said, there isn't one container where they put, the money belonging to one person or the money belonging to another. Okay, so, every customer is going to be affected in some way. That's the same thing that would happen if a site like Binance, gets compromised. Okay, everybody who holds the particular cryptocurrency will be affected. Okay, something to know. On the other hand, it is difficult to hack multiple decentralized wallets at the same time. It is very, very difficult. What is more likely to happen here is that one person's wallet is attacked and then cryptocurrency is stolen. So in terms of security, decentralized wallets offer a better option than centralized exchange wallets, but we can't really do without using centralized exchanges. So you just need to understand these two differences before we move on. Why are we spending all this time talking about this? I find that the single biggest mistake people make investing in cryptocurrency is they just go and put money in and they don't even understand what will happen if the website that they are using gets hacked, or how to properly secure their wallets. They just say, which coin is going up? Oh, Ethereum. Oh, let's buy. Okay, and after you've bought it, so what? Okay, you need to think defensively in this space. Because remember all these characteristics, right, that we put here for digital currencies. What I didn't tell you is every characteristic here makes it appealing for somebody to steal digital currencies. Because remember, this thing is very difficult to counterfeit. So if I steal it, I've stolen something valuable. Okay. And then there's a lot of anonymity, so people can hardly find me. So if I steal it, it's hard for them to find me that I stole somebody's money. All right. So all these characteristics here also make it one of the reasons why digital currencies can be stolen. Okay, if you do not follow the right security practices. Okay, so if it's all making sense so far, please put a 5 on the chart if it's all making sense to you so far. All right. Let me just be sure. I'll use that once in a while to just check that we're all together on the same page. Good. All right. So we've talked about storing cryptocurrencies. Now, let's come to a very important aspect of our conversation today. When you saw the flyer, for this event, we talked about starting your journey, and the choice of words was deliberate. Okay, so we're going to use that word "start" to help us remember, or to help us, just think in a structured way, the things we need to do in order to earn consistently from investing in cryptocurrencies. Okay, without these 5 things, okay, the chances that you'll be successful in this space, they are very, very slim. Okay, you might be successful by accident. Okay, but you will be unable to maintain or sustain that success, because if you accidentally become successful, you will deliberately fail because you don't know how to maintain it. All right, so we're going to use the letters of the word "start" to help us understand the things that are very important in this space, okay, when you're thinking about investing. Okay, and that's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at one of these letters over the course of the next 5 days, and that's how we're going to start the journey. And then I'm going to use this to show you different examples that you can apply to each one. Okay. All right, so the first thing is security. So that's the S in start, security. And we've started to have this conversation, and it's all about how are you going to secure your digital assets. So you've made up your mind that you want to get involved in crypto. I plead with you, the first thing you should think about before you spend $1 is how are you going to secure your digital assets? Okay. How? What are you going to do? This is more important than asking the question, what cryptocurrency should I buy? That's not the first question you ask. The first question you ask is, how will you secure your digital assets? Because I've told you these things are very, very valuable. Okay, and if you do not take the effort to secure them, imagine you spend all that hard work building your portfolio, growing your portfolio, and then somebody just strolls along with a toothpick in his mouth and steals everything from you simply because you did not pay attention to security. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, then over the course of the next 5 days, we'll be looking at the tools that you need to acquire the assets and how you use the tools. something called access, because this is really about who are you listening to and what strategies are you using, okay? Because one of the things I found is if you want to be successful in a new endeavor, just look for somebody who has the results and just copy what the person is doing, right? You can reinvent the wheel. I mean, you will learn by trial and error, but that's not an efficient way to learn. Of course, on day 4, we'll be talking about the resources you need. So here we're going to be answering a lot of the popular questions. How much money should I use to invest in crypto? Or how much time should I spend every day, for this to be profitable? Okay. Or that time that I'm spending every day, what should I use it to do? Okay, we're going to answer a lot of those popular questions that come up about, your resources. And then the last thing is being teachable. Okay, so this is very, very similar to access. So if you find a mentor in the space, somebody that you're going to listen to so that you can execute and repeat. Okay. Everybody who's reached significant heights, right? The person had to be teachable. You have to learn from somebody. Okay. And what's more important is you pick a single voice that you learn from. Okay. So if you're here and you learn from 500 YouTube channels on how to invest in cryptocurrency, no wonder you're confused. Okay. Pick one person, right? Understand what that person does and do it. Okay. You don't find football teams with 10 coaches, or in fact, with more than one head coach. That's a recipe for disaster. Okay, because every coach has their own style of training the team. Okay, so you never find a team with multiple coaches giving instructions at the same time. You're not going to make it that way. So look for somebody that you can learn from, listen to what they do, execute, repeat, and just keep that cycle going on. But we'll talk a lot about that on day 5. Today is day 1, so let's talk about security real quick as we bring this to a close in the next 10 or so minutes. So we've started having a conversation about security, and I want to just help you think in a structured way, okay, about how you can keep your cryptocurrency assets safe. Okay, we've talked about centralized exchange wallets. Okay, so places like Binance, you can buy your cryptocurrency and you can put it on there. Well, we've talked about it. Binance is a website. Okay, it runs off a computer. That computer can fail. Okay, the website can go down. And for the period the website is down, you can't access your cryptocurrency. The website can be hacked. So those are things you need to think about if you want to store your cryptocurrencies on a centralized exchange wallet. This is not to inspire fear in you, it's just to help you think defensively so that you can stay safe. Okay. Second example is something called a decentralized exchange wallet. Don't worry, tomorrow we'll be all about these first two, right? What they look like, how to get them, how to install them, how to use them. That's all we're going to do tomorrow. Okay. So don't worry too much about what is MetaMask, what does it look like. Don't worry, we'll cover that tomorrow. But the important thing is a decentralized exchange wallet offers slightly better security than the centralized exchange wallet. Okay, because here you're managing your security yourself. And if you do that properly, you can preserve your cryptocurrencies better than the people who are keeping them long-term on the centralized exchange wallet. The third one is something called a hot wallet. Okay, and an example is something called Exodus. So Exodus is also a wallet that allows you store cryptocurrencies, different types of cryptocurrencies. The good thing about Exodus is you don't connect it to any website. So it basically just stands alone as an app on your computer, right? And then you use it to store your cryptocurrency. So if you disconnect that computer from the internet, you're essentially fine, right? Okay. So that's what a hot wallet is. And then the last one is, and this is top of the line security, right? This is a hardware wallet. And one of the most popular examples is the Ledger Nano series. Okay. right? So, I mean, using this one, unless you're really, really careless with the private keys, with the keys you need to keep it safe, right? This is the best option for long-term storage of cryptocurrencies. And by the time the 5 days is up here, I'm actually going to be giving a Ledger Nano X away to someone who's really shown that they've been diligent and they've been listening to the content. That's more valuable than giving you cryptocurrency, because if I give you cryptocurrency, and you don't know how to secure it, then guess what? I haven't really helped you. So we'll be giving a Ledger Nano X away, and I'll tell you what you need to do, right, to just to participate in that and to benefit from that. Okay, so good stuff. So that's security, the security part of it. Now there's a couple of other tips that I'm going to mention. Now we are going to expand upon these tips tomorrow when we talk about the tools, but just for now, right? Understand that when we use centralized exchanges, they require you to provide your email. Now, a common mistake most people do is they are setting up things like Binance and they are using Gmail, right, to set up their Binance account. Okay, please do not use general purpose emails, right? Like Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo Mail. Don't use general purpose emails when you're creating your Binance account or your Kraken account or your KuCoin account or Coinbase. Okay. Why do I say that? This is an example that I like to give. If you're here and you've by any chance bought a flight ticket, even if it's a domestic flight, right? What you will notice is when you have maybe an hour or two to your flight, if you open your Gmail, for instance, you will see that at the top of the email, all your flight details are there. So your PNR, where you're taking off from, where you're landing from, and the terminal information. However, none of that was provided to Google. Okay, so how did they get all that information? Okay, Google has very, very sophisticated AI software, artificial intelligence software, that can scan the content of your emails. And this is on top of all the other data that they are gathering on you as you're doing stuff online. Okay, so the kind of email I would recommend that you use when you're setting up Binance is something called Proton Mail. Proton Mail is based on blockchain technology, the same technology that cryptocurrencies are based on. So use Proton Mail. You don't need to pay for it. It's free. Use it when you're setting up things like Binance or any other centralized exchange. Now, if you've already set up your accounts with places like Binance using Gmail, right? Binance will allow you to change your email to something else. So go ahead and do that. That's one. Then two, for everything that you're doing, to the maximum extent possible, always use something called two-factor authentication. I will demonstrate what this looks like tomorrow, but like I said, I'm just giving you tips as you prepare your mind for tomorrow, where we'll be focusing on the tools that we use in this space. Okay, so always use two-factor authentication. What does that mean? Two-factor authentication is just additional information that you provide when you're logging into your account. Now, the usual way you log into your account, any account, is you provide your username, you provide your password. Okay, with two-factor authentication, okay, you would have to provide extra information beyond your password to be able to access the site. Okay, very, very, very important for you to keep these security steps in mind. The third tip here that I will give you, it's not on this slide, so but you'll see all of this tomorrow, is, and I tell everyone this, who looks to get involved in investing in cryptocurrencies. Okay, please do not use your mobile phone for all of this stuff. Okay, to the maximum extent possible, have a laptop that you dedicate to this thing. Now, when I say dedicate, what do I mean? You can do other things on the laptop. Okay, you can browse, read email, but you should be able to tell who has access to that laptop. You should be able to control who has access to that laptop. Okay, so I'll use myself again as an example. I have a young daughter. Once in a while, she wants to watch cartoons. This is not the laptop, okay, that she will use to watch, Cry Babies, Nickelodeon, all of that great stuff. No, all right, this is not it. Okay, this laptop is dedicated to all things cryptocurrency or trading, investing. Why are you doing that? You're doing that to prevent your laptop from being compromised. Okay, so just be aware of that. Okay, so just those three tips I wanted to put out there. We'll drop a lot more tomorrow when we talk about tools, but just something to be aware since we're on the topic of security. All right, so let's give a few minutes for questions. See if anyone has questions on day one. I don't think we'll have too many because this is really straightforward stuff. But if it is something about an aspect that you want me to clarify, go ahead, put this in the chat. Um, as we round off here, if there's something you want me to explain. Otherwise, like I said, we'll have a link to the recording provided so that you're able to get this. Okay, so yeah, someone's asking already about a recording, and that's great. Yeah, we'll provide this. Good. So how do you engage? All right. So if you've noticed on all the slides, I do have my IG handle there. So go ahead, and in fact, while we're at it, why don't we just talk about the giveaway, right? And what you would need to do to get part of it, because there's no way you can do this without having a way to interact with me. Okay, so there's just some very, very simple steps to do if you want to be part of the select group that will have access to the Ledger Nano. And if you, I mean, just depending on the level of interaction that I see, we might decide to give away more than one, right? Okay, so right now it's one. I'm looking for somebody who's really, really diligent and serious about taking their crypto journey serious this year. So what better way is it than for you to gain access to probably what is considered to be the best security tool for keeping yourself safe in the crypto space. So there's a few things that you need to do, right, to be eligible for this. One, just follow me on Instagram. That's my Instagram handle. Go ahead, if you want to send me a message there, it's fine. Just go ahead, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Of course, you need to be in class every day. So how many people do we have in class now? 52. Okay, if I take myself out, it's probably 51. So we have 51 people who are in the running. So any other person who comes in from tomorrow, well, we're really sorry you were not here on the first day. So you need to be here in class. And you know what's going to be happening, right? At some point in class, we're going to take a snapshot of attendees. And obviously, it's not going to be me taking the snapshot. So you do need to be here because we won't announce that we are taking the snapshot. All right. Okay. And I see your questions and we'll come to it. Okay. All right. Now, if you're on Instagram, go ahead and put up a post of something you've learned each day, right? And just tag me. So you have my Instagram handle, go ahead and tag. And it could be, don't make this complicated. We've seen several slides. It could be a simple slide of something that you learned and you're just like, wow, this is what I learned on day one. And just go ahead and tag me, okay? Because what we want to do here is build a community of people who know what they are doing. Okay, you want to differentiate yourself from just the random people that are shouting to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. What's going to the moon, right? You don't even understand what you're doing. Okay, so you want to differentiate yourself from people, and I want to build that community of people who actually know how to build, manage, and grow a crypto portfolio by themselves. So you're not relying on any other person to do that. So put a post of something that you've learned and tag me. And like I said, we're going to look at the quality of posts. So it's not like you go and take a screenshot of 12 slides and then you flood people's timelines. It's not the quantity of posts, right? It's the quality. And like I said, we're going to pick 3 people at the end. First person will get a Ledger Nano. I'm still deciding, okay, should we increase that from one to, more than just one. But we will have crypto prices for the other two participants. So you get to pick any cryptocurrency that you want, and then we'll give you a dollar value of that cryptocurrency. Okay. All right. So that's really it for this first day. Just before I come to the questions, I just want to help you understand what we're going to be doing by Friday. When we talk about building a cryptocurrency portfolio, you need to understand that there are 6 different ways you can earn from cryptocurrency. So when I say a portfolio, it's not just you just go and buy cryptocurrency and keep there and you hope that the price will go up. No, you're going to see examples from each of these 6 areas here, right, over the course of the next 5 days on how you can earn from cryptocurrency. The one that most people know is the one I call the conventional way. That's you buy Bitcoin, okay, and then you go into a period of prayer and fasting, waiting for the price to go up. Then if the price goes up, then you sell it and you make profits. Okay, so that's the conventional way of earning from crypto. But there's other things that you can do, right? There's rewards, yield farming. Some of you here have heard about NFTs or the metaverse. We're going to do all that, okay, between now and Friday. We'll talk about trading, and then there's just some other ones that you can't really put in a bucket, so just call them others. There's 6 ways you can earn from crypto. So just be aware that as we go through each of these days, we'll be showing you examples of each of these things, because these are the strategies that you need to know for you to grow a portfolio. Okay, if you only know one way, you're basically leaving money on the table. Okay, and these things are not difficult. All right, so let me go back and see some of the questions that we have on the chat. Thank you. My co-host is here, Ayomide, and I can see he's really helping in the chat. Okay, let me see. Okay, so the question of other social media handles, I think Ayomide has provided that in the chat. There's a question here with decentralized wallets. Let me bring this down so that it doesn't look weird that I'm looking up. With decentralized wallets, can you keep different coin types, or you have to convert them all to the same type? Good question, Deji. Well, with decentralized wallets, right, you can keep different coin types. Okay. In fact, I will show you tomorrow with MetaMask that you can keep, coins from the Ethereum network, from the Avalanche network, from different networks. You don't need to convert them to the same type. Okay. So you can keep different coins. The same way on a centralized exchange, you can keep different coins. You can do that on a decentralized wallet. Okay. All right. Okay, what else do we have here? Good question. So there's a question here about how do you open a Proton Mail account? Well, that's easy. You just go to, give me a minute. Let me pull up the website. You go to the site and you just follow the instructions. It's really straightforward. The same way you opened your Gmail accounts. Those are the steps that you have to go through. The only thing I would caution is with the Proton Mail, please do not use the paid version. You don't need it. Okay, you do not need the paid version. So just be aware of that. Okay. And yes, for those asking, we are going to provide the material. So all of the videos will be available. So the videos are going to be available on the YouTube channel. So I've created a brand new YouTube channel where all of this will be, and subsequent content that we are going to be posting there, they will all be on that YouTube channel, and it is going to be free perpetually, right? You're never going to have to pay for anything that you see when we're on this community, right? So cryptocurrencies have been very kind to me. This is my way of giving back to the community and helping to build a community of people who actually know what they are doing. All right, let's see if we've got any other. Okay, we've got a question here about Okay, so we have a question here about, storing cryptocurrencies on Binance versus decentralized exchange wallets. For now, don't worry about the how. Okay, I will show you with live example accounts tomorrow what it means to store cryptocurrencies on Binance, what it means to store cryptocurrencies in places like MetaMask. You'll see all that live tomorrow. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, fantastic. Well, I hope you got some value from this. I'm looking forward to the community that we will build from this, because I know that this is going to be truly impactful. Okay, and as we continue to share here, I truly believe that you will learn a lot. And if you do have ideas, there's things that you want to see, there's other information that you think I didn't cover, you want me to share, just go ahead and send me a message. um, you can use any of the social media handles that my co-host has provided. So I'm mostly on Instagram. So that's probably the easiest way to catch me. If you don't have an Instagram account, consider opening one for this. You'll be glad you did. All right. Okay. So yeah, so someone is asking about the YouTube channel. So just hang on. When I post the link, we have the information of everyone who's registered for this. So I'll share that. I have a way to get back to everyone who was on the call. So no worries about that. I'll share that with you. So this class was a bit long. Will be a bit shorter than this going forward, because like I said, I wanted to really set the stage today, then build on this and really build community going forward. So if you have a friend who you think will benefit from, straightforward, no hype, no fluff information on cryptocurrencies, why don't you get them on here tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m., same Zoom link. So you don't need to go register again, right? Subsequent days are for people who probably didn't register on the first day. Just you can let your friends know, because I believe the more we learn together and we build a community of knowledgeable people, the better we'll all be. So have a great evening, folks. Thank you for your time. Remain blessed.